Hi, good morning. Welcome to Caps and Icon Weekly Friday training. In today's training, we will be looking at the topic Image. Now, what is Image? Yeah, Image is actually a feature in Microsoft Word that is used to produce mass letter of the same content with different field name. What do I mean? If you are working in the office and you want to you want to print a letter of to about 500, 200 participants or staff, then you don't have to start wasting time doing it one by one. So Mimage is a tool you need to run out all the letters. Now, in creating Mimage, there are two files involved. Number one is your data source file, which is a file that contains the information of the recipient, which you are seeing on my screen. Right now, you can see that I have an Excel file which contains the names of staff who are just employed in this company. Now, we are asked to produce their offer letter to send them an offer letter. If you check my list here, I have up to about 31 candidates who qualify for this offer. Now, the next thing I was asked to do is to produce the offer letter to each of these candidates. Now, here I have their details on Excel sheet. Like I said before, there are two files that make up Mimage. The first one is the file that contains the recipient information, which is always on Excel worksheet, which is this one. And the second one is the document file that contains the file, the information, the message to be sent across all the candidates. So this is the first file. Now, what you do is to prepare your first file, which is this Excel file that have the recipient information. You prepare the file and you save it. Now, for us to be able to use Excel file for image, your first row must be header row. What do I mean? That look at this file I'm having here now. I can't use this file here for image. Why? Because my first row is not my header row. You can see I have row 1, row 2. Then from row 3 is where I have my header row. So what I'm saying is that for me to be able to use this file from image, the first row must be this one. That is my where I have surname, serial number. So what I always do in this case, I duplicate this file. What do I mean? I make it two, so I'll use one for image. Then I'll still have this original file. So I'm going to come to this place, right click on this one, click move or copy, or say move to end. Then I say what? Create a copy. Then I click OK. So now I have two of the list. I'm going to come here, label this one mail match. I just write this one here. This is mail match 5. Then this is what I'll be using for my mail match. Now after that, I have to come here, delete these two rows because I'm saying that the first row must be my header row. So my row number 3 here is my header row. So I'm going to remove the first two to make that row number 3 my header row. Right click on this place, then click delete. So the two row is off. Then I have the first row now, which is what? My header row. So I'm going to save this file and close the file. Now once I'm done with this one, I move to the other file which contains the letter I want to send. Now this is the letter I am sending to the candidates who qualify for this offer. So I have the letter of employment, offer of employment here. Now you can see in the letter I have already indicates those field names that will be involved in this my main message. I have this date, start dates, and all this. The next thing I will do now is to use main message to integrate that Excel file into MSO. Then I run through the whole document. Now it's very simple. Just pay attention. The first step here, when you open your document file, click on mailings. Then from mailings, you click on what? Select recipient. Now, because already I have a list, I will click on use an existing list. Then I click here and take me down to this place. Now it's not asking me my data source. I said I have a list. Where is the list? So I'm going to scroll up, look for where I have that Excel file which I've already created and saved. So I'm going to come to desktop. Now scroll down to where I have mine, and this is the file that I want to use for my main letter. So I'm going to click on this now, this one. I say open. Now it opens. Of course, in that Excel sheet file, I have two sheets there. So this one that is labeled main image is the file for main image. So I'm going to click on this one here and say OK. Now when I take OK, you see that my ribbon now are now very, very active. And you see that I have imported those files I have in Excel. Hmm? This space here, I have surname, other name, and other. These are the headings I have in that my Excel file sheet. So the next thing I will start doing now is to start inserting them in the appropriate position. The first thing I will need here is to put the date. I'm going to click here. I'm going to say I want the date to be there. Okay, I can say okay, I want the address first. I hit my enter key and I click on the same insert merge field and I put my city. These are the two things I want at the top here. I can just make it bold, for record purpose so I can see them when they're changing. The next thing is this is there. Now there's no name here because I already have the names in Excel file, so I won't bother typing the name here manually. So I'm going to go to insert merge field again, click on surname first, take my space bar, then take other names. Then also I can also make it bold. Okay, so that when it's changing, you can observe it. Now the next thing I have here is position. I'm going to come here also, remove this one, remove all this one here. And because already I have stated the position in my Excel file, I'm going to come here, click on insert merge field, choose position. Then I also come here, highlight, I can make it bold so you can see them when they are changing. The next item I have here is start date. I'm going to also come here, remove this one, and insert the real start date, which I already have in this space also. I'm going to put a space there and also highlight it so you can see when they are displaying. I also have this one here. The next item here is location to resume. I'm going to also highlight this one, then remove this, click on the insert merge field and click on location to resume. I click here and I also have this. Now those are the items I need to insert in my letter file. So now I can say let me preview them and see what is the result. So I'm going to go to my mailings also, look for a group called preview result, and you see preview result icon here. Click on it. Wow, the names are out. The address is there. This is the position. This is the date to resume, and this is also where to resume, the location to resume. So I can check the next record. I click on this button here, next record. Now you see that what is changing here is just the field names, those names that are inserted from Excel. The content of the letter still remain the same thing. So I can just check them. I have 31 records in my Excel file. So at the end of the day, I should be having 31 document here. So when I'm done checking them, I'm cool with it. I move back to the first one and click back on preview results. I come back to the normal way it was before. Now, if you scroll down also, you see here there's a spot for signature. So if you are allowed in your office to also insert a signature from your system, fantastic. But for this training, I'm just going to come here, do something like this, go to shapes, use something like this. I just insert, I just okay, this is just the signature. I just come here and then I sign my signature here. But I'm not saying you should sign with this. You can sign on the paper, scan it, then I place it on the document. Now I am already 99% done with this my letter. The next thing is for me to display the letter. Now for me to not display the whole of them, depending on what I'm doing, I can also send it via mail. Next thing I will do now is to come to mailings also. Now you see a group here called finish, and you see finish and merge. And if I to send it through email, I'm going to click on this one here. I'll click on send email message. Of course, already I have their email against their name in my Excel file. So here you are seeing email. I come here, I put my subject offer letter there, then I can send it as either attachment, plain text, or HTML. Now, before you can send email using Mailmage, you must have an Outlook account in the system you are using to send that email. Okay, but for you to receive the message, you don't have to have an Outlook in your system. But you are saying that the system that is sending that particular email message must have Outlook account on that system. Now, if you are done with that, just come here, put your record 1 to 31. Then you hit your OK key. Then the message will be dropping to the various email. All right, that's how you can send it through email. But if I'm to print out these letters, for instance, I'm going to come back to this place, finish and merge, then click on edit individual documents. Click here. Now I'll also come here again. I'll say 1 to what? To 31. Yeah, well, that is the list, the last number of letter I have in my Excel file. So I'm going to click that and I click on OK. Now when you click on OK, you hold on a bit, it will load, wow, and start displaying all your letters. So you can see here, this is the first person. If you can scroll down, this is the second one. Everything is there, but what is changing on the letter is the field names. The content still remain the same thing. So you can see the signature is showing in all the letters. So you can scroll down to the last number of letter, which is what, page 31. If you look at this, my bar here, you're going to see I have what, page 4 of 31, showing that I have 31 letter at the end of the day. Simple as ABC. Now, another thing is that when you're done with Mimage, put your cursor on this your status bar here, you discover that you have two documents. One of them is the original one, that is the original one, which is the one single page. Second one here is the second one, which is the 31 pages. Now, if for instance there was an omission or addition or anything to correct in the letter, you can also as well go back, then you close this one, you don't save it, then come back to this original one and you make your correction so it can take effect in all other letters. So to make correction or to edit your information, you don't have to go to Excel file again and start making correction. You just can do it in this place. So to make any correction in your data, just come here, click edit recipient list, click here, then you have this dialog box. Then click on the name of the file and click edit. Now with this one, the details of the recipients will not appear here. So make whatever correction you want to make. Let's assuming there is an error here in this address. This instead of 50, it was written 15. I'm going to come here, remove this 15 and put 50 on it. Then that's how I will make other correction on the on this particular place. I take OK. Now to now ask me, do I want to save this same file to the Excel file? Can you see what I say now? He said, do you want to update your recipient list and save this change to the main image that is in the Excel file list? I'll say yes. Now, once I do that, I take OK. I come back here again, then I click on edit individual letter, then 1 to 31. I take OK, then my letters are ready. That is how main merge work. It is very easy and make your work very simple and easy. Thank you very much. I will see you in our next class.